Hey Sam, happy Wednesday. So I am fairly tired right now, as tends to be. My classes are doing this really cruel and mean and evil thing where they give me a lot of work, and so that's been my life recently. Additionally, we're running like a science Olympiad tournament here on Saturday, and due to the sort of ludicrous amount of time I spent doing science Olympiad in high school, I sort of felt that it was like I had to give back, and so I'm on exec here and I'm helping run that thing. So that's also been a decent amount of my time and stress. But I'm doing fairly well, all things considered. Except the fact that I already just recorded one version of this video, that just ended like a minute ago, but then I realized I forgot to hit the record button, so I've just been talking to the void for 5 minutes, and now I'm re-recording it. Um, but I guess the main things I want to talk about is, the world news that is happening. Or some of, the news that's happening. Well, first of all, it's been a bit since I've mentioned the protests in Iran, but they're still going on. And apparently at this point it is some truly insane number of protesters that have died, with a range of between 5 to 30,000 protesters killed. And if it really is on the higher end of that range, that is a bit insane. 30,000 protesters killed is a number so monumentally insane that it is almost hard to fathom. Like in America, if 30,000 people show up to a protest, that's considered a large protest. Could you imagine if the US government killed 30,000 protesters? 30,000 people dead is the level you'd see in like wars and massacre. That is not the level you see in governments cracking down on protests typically. It is utterly insane and barbaric, and I hope Iran finds its freedom very soon. Speaking of insane and barbaric, obviously nowhere quite as bad, but still very terrible. America's rendition of the Gestapo, better known as ICE, has been, and they've been doing what they've been doing. Apparently apparently the police were arresting some anti-ICE protesters at a church, and a bunch of legal shenanigans have ensued. They also arrested a bunch of pastors at airports trying to protest ICE. But sort of the good news is that perhaps, hopefully, for once, the Democrats can do something. Woo! I know this is a rare occurrence of the Democrats actually doing anything. They don't really love to, but due to a few months ago when the government shut down, and the Democrats caved because they were promised a vote on healthcare subsidies, which, good job, guys. Glad you got that. And that never ended up happening. I was 10 million Americans who lost out, 30 million, I don't know. Significantly too many Americans have just lost their healthcare, but that's sort of beside the point right now. The stopgap funding bill apparently expires soon, and it seems like they are going to be unwilling to provide funding to DHS, which, good job. If I was in Congress, my sort of position was to be, you pass there are 5 of the 6 spending bills, the ones that don't fund the DHS, then the one that's supposed to fund DHS, you just never pass. No funding to ICE. Trump can do his best to shuffle around money for, a few months, but eventually they'll run out of funding, and bam. Good job, guys. You stopped the American, stopped ICE, stopped the American version of the Gestapo, stopped, the nonsense. They're not going to do that because they're cowards and spineless, and instead they apparently got 3 demands, they got, instead of, stopping, the American rendition of the Gestapo, instead they are, trying to better regulate them, and, it's better than nothing, but I don't know, it was so weird, calling the American rendition of the Gestapo, on the one hand, I don't quite want to compare it to Nazi Germany because Nazi Germany was significantly worse. But it's important to point out that Nazi Germany was not worse from the beginning. It was a slow slide into genocide. And America is certainly on the road right now. Where, at this point, you look at it and I don't quite think Trump is able to cancel the next elections. I don't think he's going to. But, if he was working towards it, surely sending masked thugs to every city in the country is the first step. So maybe stop him now, before, we have to find out whether or not he intends to go through with the rest of them. Speaking of that, I'm trying to figure out where I could get citizenship to as well, just in case we need to leave America. I love America desperately, and I don't want to leave. However, if it becomes a fascist hellhole, perhaps. Okay, Sam, a very depressing video today. I'll see you on Sunday, where hopefully the world will be a better place. Bye, brother.